Today we are going to learn about increment and decrement of pointers. We know how to use increment and decrement on simple variables. But today we have to see what happens when we apply increment and decrement operators to the pointers. You know that pointer is a kind of variable which stores the address of another variable. So ultimately we have the address as the value in pointer. Now if you use increment operator, then it means that the address has been increased. Suppose you have 5126 as the address in a pointer and you have used the increment operator by 1. So the address will be increased by 1. Now you have to pay all your attention to understand this topic. I will explain you this concept through arrays. Suppose I have an array int a of size 5 which is equals to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. We know when an array is declared, all the address of its elements are in continuous numbers. So if the address of A0 is 2020, okay, let me write this for you. Suppose the address of A0 is 2020, then the address of A1 will be equals to 2022. Because the size of the integer variable is 2 bytes, so all the address of array element will be continuous with a gap of the size of the byte. So you can write it like A0 is 2020, A1 is 2022, then A2 will be equals to 20, okay, delete this, 2024, then A3 will be equals to 2026, and then A4 will be equals to 2028. So this will be the addresses. In case of float type array, the difference will be of 4 bytes. I hope you are now familiar with this concept. Now let's come back to the pointers. We know if int a is equals to 10, then a plus plus will make it 11. But this is not the same thing in pointers. Let us consider an array. So I have this array int a5 which has 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4 as the values at each index. So now I have int star p, and then I have write p is equals to the address of a0. Okay, I have declared an array of size 5 and initialized its value with 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Then I have declared integer type pointer and I have given it the address of first element of the array. So, suppose the address of first element is 2020. So now if I write p++, then it does not mean 2021. It will mean 2022 because we are dealing with address, and address will be increased by 2 because it is of integer type. My pointer is of integer type and I have applied the increment on the pointer, and pointer has the address, so the address will be increased by the size of the data type. So the pointer is of integer type, so the address will now increased by the size of by 2 bytes. Now the value in the pointer p is 2022, which is the address of a1. The address of a0 was 2020, and then I applied p++, so the value in pointer p is 2022, which is ultimately the address of a1. So if you write like this, let me delete all these things first. Let me write hash include stdio.h then hash include conio dot h, then void main. Okay, then int a of size 5 is equals to 0 1 2 3 4. Okay, and then I have declared int star p, which is my pointer variable, and then I have written p is equals to the address of a 0, and then I have written p plus plus. Okay, so now I can write printf value at p is percentage u forward slash n comma p, and suppose instead of writing this statement here, let's write it here and then write the same thing. Value at p is percentage u forward slash n and p. So here you will get a difference by 2 bytes, and if you write the value at the address of p, then you will get 1. So if you write like this, printf value at the address of p is percentage d forward slash n, and write star p here, write question semicolon, copy the statement. Okay, so what will actually happen, we have value at p, which is here we are going to get the address of a0, and here we are going to get the value which is at the address of a0. So we are going to get 0 from this statement and the address of a0 through this statement. Then we have performed p plus plus, which means the address is increased by 2, which will give me the address of a1, and value at the address of a1 is 1. Okay, then I will write get ch. Okay, and in case of float type array and pointer, same thing will happen, but the difference will be of 4 bytes. Okay, now let's see the output. So save this and run the program. Okay, here you can see the value of p is increased by 4, and the value at the address of p is 1 and not 0. So this was my previous address, which has the value 0, and when I performed the p plus plus, then the address is increased by 4, and the address and the value which is at the address of p is 1, so which is the value of a1. So this is how increment and decrement are used with pointers. You can access the whole array through this concept. Thank you.